Because little faith is a faith that is paralyzed by fear. That's where many are. Number 3 level of faith as you are growing is what we call weak faith. Weak faith is a faith that does not necessarily fear, but is a faith that considers. So when you say do this, he's wondering, how about this? How about that? What of this? What will happen to this? So the mind is too logical. The mind is too calculative that the action cannot be taken because it's considering too many things. Remember, the Bible said Abraham considered not his body now dead, neither the deadness of Sarah's womb. But there are many people who will consider their body. You tell them you'll get married this year, and they say, Kai, but this is August. When are we going to start dating? When will we understand ourselves? When are we going to do introduction? When is the marriage? Did you not read the Bible? It said, though the cloud will be empty, but the brook shall be filled with water. It's not about what you are saying. Why we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things that are unseen. You tell them by the Spirit, God said in 7 days you will have a job. And they say, I've not worked for 10 years, so most of the job now they will ask for experience, and they are looking for young people. I'm now 48. Which one will I apply for? They are considering. That's why their faith is weak. If they were able to migrate from the realm of consideration, you will discover that their faith will produce results. But the mind cannot but go to work. Romans 14 from verse 1 to 2. It said, him that is weak in faith receive ye. Paul was talking about those with weak faith. You know their problem, you will see it. He said, but not to doubtful disputation. That means when you receive those who are weak in faith, don't fight with them, leave them. That's where they are. When you are talking, they say, relax, that can't work. When Elisha showed up and said, by this time tomorrow a cup of barley shall be sold for 1 shekel, the prime minister stood up and said, sir, I know God too. In fact, I know God enough to know that there's a window in heaven. But even if this happens, be reminded that you are talking about national economy. For national economy to change, there must be budgetary issues, there must be strategies, there must be policies, there must be bureaucratic improvements. What do you think? Do you think you are talking to one widow? This is national economy. Consideration. They know too much for their faith to produce results. He said, when you receive those people, don't argue with them, it won't help them. He said, for one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak, it helps. So they think it's wrong to do certain things because they have too many rules and regulations, too many facts, too many programs that has become a law in their mind. That's why their faith is weak. Every time God speaks, they begin to consider. Hope you know the reason Peter began to sink was because he started considering the wind and the wave. So faith becomes weak when consideration takes over the place of believing. That's the third level of faith. But don't be discouraged if you are there. You are still growing. You are still growing. You are growing from no faith to little faith to weak faith. See, what you do at this level is that go against your consideration. When you think it will not work, go and do the same thing. The more you argue, that's the more you act. As you are acting, you will discover that a point will come, your results will begin to supersede your arguments. And then the second thing you do at this level is to cast down your imaginations. The Bible says, casting down imagination and every high standing thing. 2 Corinthians 10 from 3 to 5. And bringing into captivity. So God tells you, you will marry this year. And then your mind is telling you, not the devil, that no, nobody can meet somebody, date somebody and marry in 5 months. Tell yourself, my God does not live in the realm of time. Everything my God says happen. I rebuke this thought. What God says will happen. If you don't talk to yourself and cast down those imaginations will subdue your faith. You will now discover that you have faith but never having results because your faith is weak. So 2 ways to deal with weak faith is to keep carrying out the actions, and number 2, keep casting down your imagination. See, the faith life is a deliberate life. We grow in it. It doesn't just happen, we grow. At one level, no faith, you receive light. Keep learning, keep growing in understanding. Your mind is straightened. You go to little faith. At little faith, get mentors, learn from people until you are baptized. Then you come to weak faith, start taking action. You go there, your mind is telling you, Kai, I know God can heal the lame, but Kai, this person's leg, this is not spinal cord problem. Oh, this leg is tiny. Kai, the bones, this is bones. If it was a pain or a fracture, maybe, but Kai, this leg, the leg is even bent. The power that heals the pain is the power that straightens the leg. Your job is not to consider how, your job is to take the action. It says, as thou knowest not how the bones are formed in him that is with child. It says, so knowest not thou the ways of the Spirit. The harder it is, the simpler it is for God. It says, for with man, these things are difficult, but with God, all things are possible.